Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSperts. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and back from his July 4th and BetSperts golf break, Mr. Andy Mahler. How was your holiday? How many meats did we cook, smoke? Did we blow up any meat?
Did not blow up any meat, blew up some fireworks. Had a lot of fun. Grilled tomahawk brats. The local, again, Midwesterners know Hy-Vee brats. Pretty solid, but went up to Wisconsin so I can get some decent fireworks. Like, just it's one of those things where it's like you can get fireworks at the store here in Midland. It's like these suck so bad. So it was really, really hot on Saturday, I believe, and we were kind of working out on the farm on some outdoor projects and realized like it's gonna be hot as shit. So like when where the Spanish people take their siestas in the middle of the afternoon, we did a similar thing where we said that's our take a break in the air conditioned car, drive to Wisconsin, right across the border. There's a really good ice cream shop, get some ice cream, pick up some spotted cow, and then go over to the fireworks stand across the street. Boom, value. So made that happen, and it was fun. What flavor ice cream? Butter brickle. There's only one flavor. They do have a really good chocolate chip that the kids like, but it's an old creamery that's like right on the railroad line because that's how they
How's the rum raisin?
worked. I don't know if they had that. They do have pizza though, and a shitload of cheese curd.
Ooh.
So good joint. Shout out to the Nelson Creamery. Place was packed. Hot day weekend like that, but fun hot dog contest went swimmingly. We ended up sliding into this week and realizing like that might be the last thing I make money on until football starts. But I watched a little yesterday. I caught the replay. I'm up lifetime tailing you on NBA futures. So probably going to continue to do more of that.
It's fun. It's fun to bet. It's one of those things where I understand all the arguments that you hear from guys like Spanky or guys from Rufus about how futures aren't great bets given how high big they are and things like that. But given their approach to the market, that makes sense. They're trying to take their bankroll and roll it over as many times over and over and over again. Where I'm happy to take kind of part of my bankroll, put it aside, and just use it almost more as a long term thing, if you will. Or again, it's just a different approach thing. But as we see season in and season out, if you can get ahead of some of these moves and really start to see kind of how the season's going and where the media support is going to be, there's lots of values in these numbers if you're willing to, again, put some money aside.
Yeah, and it goes to a point I was talking to, well, you. Maybe putting some money into some long-term futures is a better investment than the stock market or crypto right now. I don't know how long we will be in essentially a mini recession, but I'm going to invest in cash and NBA players, so I'm down with that. We'll get to another one of those today, but I did promise soccer. I want to start with soccer because it is the women's Euros, and boy, did I read too many women's Euro previews. And I thought a lot of them did come out of the UK, so I thought of maybe getting unfair biases there,
Ooh.
considering
Would it be pro England or anti England? Knowing the fans, it might be anti.
Yeah, I don't know. The pundits seem to need to write pro England things, but Christ on a bicycle, I couldn't find a reason to not bet England. I found a plus 450. It's 300 at some places. Don't bet that. You should be able to find at least 4-1. It's coming home. That's such a good song, by the way. Also, it's coming home. It's not coming home for the men, but the women's team is very, very good. A lot of people don't think about when they think about women's soccer, especially on our side of the pond, they don't think about some of these really good teams because the U.S. just kicks the ever living shit out of them all every time we have an Olympics. Like the U.S. team is, I mean, it's like dream team early 90s level above some of these other teams at certain points in this run that they've had. So, but this is not somewhere the USA, Brazil, Australia, they're not located in Europe. They will not get to play in the Euros. Even though we had like Qatar come play in their North American tournament, they're not going to let that happen. So England, Spain, kind of your favorites. There's a deep class of like middle second favorites, that second tier, even if you think, Spain or England is a head above and you want to put one of those team in it. But I mean, Germany, France, the Netherlands, there's a bunch of, and Sweden, honestly, there's a bunch of really good also rans that I think it's going to be a good tournament. It'll be interesting. Some of these results probably will be lopsided. There's a team that's like the 48th best in the world in the FIFA rankings that's in. So it'll be curious to see how bad they get beat by some of these top teams, even though they did qualify. Congrats to, the Northern Irish team. They're in, but the only other futures I did take was Sweden to reach the semis. I know some people that like them to win the group. It's more of a Dutch fade. The Dutch are favored in that group. If I'm talking out of my ass, maybe I'm wrong here, but 90% I'm talking about the right group. And despite being second favorite, I would like the way they land either way. So the top two in each group will advance. There's 4 groups. So you end up with how many teams is that? 8 in your final knockout bracket there. So just even if they were to take second, which I really can't see them falling down to third, Sweden's a quality squad, they would end up in a nice spot to advance. So to reach the semifinals means get top 2 in your group and then win one match. All they'd have to do is win one match. So I ran a bunch of different, there's one of those great little things, pick how your groups end up, and then it creates a bracket for you. I ran 3 or 4 iterations, and man, I don't see a spot where they're going to be a meaningful underdog. It should be a couple spots where they could be favored, a couple spots where it'd be close to a pick 'em. I think this is probably a little bit of value. And if you like Sweden to win their group, that's plus 130, 140. Shop around for that. And then I wanted some anytime goal scorers today, Alex. Couldn't find them. I'll show you that market. It's hilarious. There's like 7 women under 2-1 at Bovada right now for the match today. Like, it's not boom value. There were top goal scorers for the entire tournament, though. It is really hard to, it's not the men's game where there's a bigger knockout tournament and the group play where somebody could make like the quarters or semis and have a nice run and get top goal scorer. It's almost certainly going to be a team that's at least in the semis, most likely in the finals. England has been piling on a little. On some of these teams, I don't foresee them holding up or putting up bad lineups. So Lauren Hemp, top goal scorer, she's a Man City product. Yeah, they have a Hemp, and yeah, let's.
Are you sure that you got the best number on this? I'm looking at there might be a 40-1 somewhere on Miss Hemp here to be top goal scorer, if I'm reading this correctly.
Maybe I got horrible.
Did you bet like top goal scorer for a group? Maybe
I don't know. If there's a 40-1, I'm going to legal book bet that right now, I guess, because
it's in a book that rhymes with bet on crime.
Really? Did I not shop around very well for this?
Apparently
this
not.
Is this is embarrassing right on air. Well, take that too. I liked it at 14. I like any of these English girls not named Ellen White, her Man City teammate, I'm pretty sure. So yeah,
we do have some Mia Dima. I forget who told us to bet Mia Dima, but I feel like we have heard a nice
Peter.
Peter, that's correct.
It's their first name Vivian?
Yes. Yes, Vivian. Okay. Mia Dima.
Yeah, that's Peter's pick. Peter also has a Dutch ticket, which I think is super dead at this point. So I'll head over to Bet Online, get a better number on this. And like I said, yeah, there is a match today, England, Austria. It's, the start of the title run. Austria's not bad, but this is at Old Trafford where Man United play. It's a huge stadium. There are some complaints. Not all these matches are held at like legit stadiums. Some are at like, the training ground stadium of like the minor league teams, for some of these, EPL teams, to what I was trying to say. But there are a few matches that are at some legit stadiums, and obviously including the final. So this is going to be a sold-out English crowd, jacked up for their Lionesses. I really think we see a beating. I haven't seen anyone make a decent case to bet anything Austria. I did bet some England scores in both halves. It was clean sheets expensive. You could play win to nil. I think that's pretty fair price here. You could play -2, -1.5. Spendy. I don't know about the team total over. That was a little expensive, I thought. We'll see how much they rack it up, but they are going to get after it early and often here. So I think I'll just probably be sweating out a second half goal at some point. So I think it's -125 right now at Bovada, but I think that's still within range. So match 1, betting them all, Alex, just like the Euros.
Oh,
every single match. There's matches.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, I made that proclamation yesterday. So it was a tough decision, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. And looks like I'm adding futures. If I had a hell of a time finding stuff over at BetOnline, I don't want to tell them how to run their shop, but their menu
has gotten, find it under futures.
It's gotten a little worse.
You have to click that weird little futures button, which only is where soccer futures live. Everybody else has their own little sub futures.
I did find this, and then last night when I was looking at this, all they had was the outright. I'm not sure they had group betting or anything. Oh my God, Lauren Hemp. Yeah, Lauren Hemp's 25-1 now. I am looking for a price on one other girl. I did mention it to. I don't know what the guy's name is at Bovada. It's Dave Mason's counterpart, I suppose. Pat Morrow. I'm looking for one more price on a different girl too, if they'll give me a big number. So, you know what? We'll take it. I'm adding some more hemp money here. We'll see what they take on this. Risk max limit. Oh, really? Jesus, we're not doing that. I don't like it that much. I was just gonna laugh at it a little. So, all right, more hemp at 25. And you watching Wimbledon today?
Oh yeah. Like the Wimbledon. The women's matches were both very good. Rybakina comes back after dropping the first set to Tomljanovic. And Anna Samova pushes Halep a little bit there in the second set, tighten things up. But we got her over, we got her under, and they play again. That'll be our semifinal. And on the other side, we've got Ons Jabeur against the woman we all thought would be there, Tatjana Maria.
The German, yeah, you could have said there might be a German here. I'm not sure this is the one we would have picked, but such is life. And yeah, very good call. Both of your totals yesterday kind of came in fairly easy. Was it 6-2 in the first with Halep?
Yeah.
So
just needed Halep to win the second set.
Yeah, it was even a tiebreaker would have got. Was it 21.5 or 21?
Either just 21. Way, I'd be happy with the push.
I'd have taken a push. That wasn't going to a tiebreak, to be fair. So, yeah, Halep domination, and yeah, we're moving on. We're getting damn close to this weekend's finals. Did you have any looks in the early stuff?
Yeah, actually, I do. That match specifically, Halep and Rybakina. I'm going to continue to ride Halep unders. I mean, effectively, this is a bet on Simona Halep, who has had a couple competitive matches against Rybakina, but they're a few years old. They're generally on hard courts, and during a period where Halep has, not necessarily been 100%. What we've seen here the last week and a half now is just been stellar. She is pushing, I think, to have the second most consecutive wins in Wimbledon history. Serena has 20 in a row. She just won her 12th. That puts her in second now. She's got a long way to go to catch up with Serena, but it just continues to dominate not only on these courts, but in grass season in general. She's been fantastic. So I think Halep gets it done here. I didn't want to lay. There was a juicy 4 or a cheap 4.5. I'm happy to kind of tuck that away and just give me the under here. I think, if anything, this match is over pretty quickly. And I just don't want to be worried about having 4.5, say, in like a 6-4, 6-4, or a 6-4, 7-5 kind of situation. I actually 6-4, 7-5, we both lose. But just like the under here quite a bit. I had it closer to 21, and honestly might have hung a juicy 20.5 myself. So like the under here. And in the other match, Jabeur should win, but if Jabeur wins the first set, bet Maria live. She keeps coming back in these matches down a set. So I think Jabeur probably puts her away pretty quickly, but there's definitely been some value there for her. And seeing some questions here. Nadal. I mean, I'm just rooting for Nadal because I have a bunch of Nadal futures from before the tournament. I thought that his half of the draw was pretty easy. And then once Berrettini and those guys got out of the way, with COVID, unfortunately, things opened up now. He just took the second set. So we're 1-1 now. And this is interesting, Andy. Tied a set apiece. What do you think the live price is on Nadal Fritz?
-115.
You liar! You're looking.
I had the screen up. I'm sorry. I was staring at it when,
Okay.
I didn't check.
I was
after you asked.
surprised. I thought Nadal would be a bigger favorite. I mean, usually when
was-
it comes to set a piece, they go back kind of the closer to the closing price. But
So
we'll
I
see, I
have been
guess.
watching this live line. I've been watching, looking for spots to possibly get on in either guy, and it was on serve, and Nadal had served first, so he was up 4-3 during the medical timeout, and the number took a big jump. Like the medical timeout honestly moved the line, so I don't know if they're using that as an anchoring point because it was, Fritz up a set during service. If there weren't any funny business during the service games, he was up, between minus 130 and minus 110. Generally, if he was, getting some break chances, obviously it was much higher, but it took a big jump after that medical timeout. So I don't know if they're anchoring to that, but that does seem a little cheap for best 2 out of 3. Nadal is battling some sort of injury. It appears he has some tummy muscles that are hurting him, but we'll keep an eye on that one. And then it does look like Kyrgios is just going to kind of routine Christian Guerin and move on. So
motivate Nick Kyrgios, everyone.
Yeah, it's weird what happens when he gets.
We're gonna get a Kyrgios Novak final. Oh god, this is me knocking on wood. I don't want to jinx it. It'd be too beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't like Nadal, and I should cheer for Taylor Fritz because of where he's from. But boy, do I not want to see that semifinal. I would rather see Rafa get healthy here. So good luck to both of those, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens. No money on it for me yet.
I'm gonna take some Rafa live. I believe. I think he wins or quits.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you think he quits due to injury, there isn't a book in the world outside of like the exchanges that'll hold you to that bet. Like,
especially live.
If you bet it, live. Yeah, I was gonna say live money lines those all canceled. That's 100% gone. So, and it looks like my Tour de France bet did finally come through.
Oh,
sitting here waiting for both my games were in the Peloton. I had a matchup bet, and it's just like the Peloton finished, and then you got to wait 20 minutes to get everyone's times because he wasn't in there. So, congrats to whoever the fuck I bet on there. Good job. Golf. I started my process late. It stinks that we had this holiday to kind of goof up. What could have been a fun week. Like, I wish I had more time for Barbasol. I'm going to really, really try to get some Barbasol stuff put up and make some bets there. It's a decent tournament. It's a good place for somebody to pop a trophy and get an invite to some better places. I mean, even last week, a few guys, the top 3 finishers last week at the John Deere, which was a horrible tournament, got their tickets punched to go play in the Open next week. Like, it is a shitty tournament, a shitty field, and it's up against a better tournament in Scotland. But you win this, you're going to get some invites. So I'm excited about the Barbasol. I'm working on it. But from now, I just have a matchup bet I like quite a bit over in Scotland in a guy I hate, Billy Horschel. Don't care.
Billy Ho.
Yeah, you can get this at like plus 106 right now, I think. I think BetOnline, Lovig has this slightly better price, but even money should be widely available in the market. Ryan Fox is a truck right now on the DP Tour, playing great, a lot of top 10 finishes, top 5 finishes, but he is a really big favorite over informed Billy Horschel, and that doesn't jive with me. I'd make Horschel like, I'd have this minus 120, minus 110. Horschel favored. So having it flip-flop, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe my numbers suck. But I'm riding a decent streak of matchup bets this summer. It's been going well. And really, I've been laying a lot of juice, or I've been taking some bigger favorites and just laying the stroke and a half because I think it's a blowout. I don't think this is a blowout. I think they're close, but getting an underdog price here is silly to me. So Food Snob obviously has to go with his European guy.
Julian,
I don't understand. I don't understand the Fox love. It's not like Billy Horschel's never been to Europe. He won your silly little the other BMW tournament. So I'm fine taking Billy on it's not fully a links course either. It's there's some tree lined areas. It's a really goofy course. I love what they did with this. It's not old, as Ryan had to remind me. Fox is a Kiwi. I know. I'm talking President's Cup, like, or whatever, the one where it's USA versus the world. You're just anti-American, which is fair. If I lived in Europe, I would be too. I have trouble dealing with a lot of stuff that happens here living here. We should go on. Should I go on a full anti-American tirade during 4th of July week, Alex, or should we? I'm not
I was
going.
having that thought.
Yeah,
Not that I was going to stop you, but
no, I like it here. It's fine. I am a foreigner born abroad. I am an immigrant, German immigrant. So Fox beat Billy like by 7 shots in the last tournament. Look at this. Look at this. Fox beat Billy by like 7 shots in the last tournament. Prisoner of the moment.
Bounce back.
Prisoner, just pro, not anti-American, just pro money. We'll see. I guess we're opposite sides there. I'm taking the boom value on Billy Ho, and I only have a couple other ones, but Barbasol stuff coming this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll say you versus a frog. Should be an easy contest.
I don't know. This guy tends to beat me. We'll see. That sucks. I might have to switch. I might have to change which one I put in the newsletter now. We're riding a four game winning streak. It's been since like Canada. So, what does that leave us with? The NBA?
Hey, you promised some NBA futures. What the heck? Let's get into some most improved player awards. Again, our sponsor, FanDuel, leading the market here. I haven't seen these. Camby might have had these, but I'm pretty sure that this might be just at FanDuel. And, when we look at most improved player, I always try to look for patterns here from the previous winners. You want a starter. Just about everybody that wins this award starts pretty much the entire season. It's generally someone kind of past being a younger player, kind of in their 3rd, 4th, 5th season, generally plays on a winning team, and then you have to have a big increase in your counting stats. So your points go up by over 6 per game. Rebounds pick up by 1.5, assists by 1.5, and as much better as everyone's got at using advanced stats, and generally the media is much better at it now. These awards still come down to kind of those easy numbers here, and then it's a nice little helper there to make the All-Star team. 7 of the last 11, including John Morant last year, were All-Stars. So with those kind of things in mind, I look at a bunch of numbers here. The first 2 guards that are going to get a great chance to start. Anthony Simons is going to be the lead guard next to Damian Lillard when Damian Lillard is healthy in Portland. And when he's not, it's going to be Simons' team this year. I love that number at 30-1. He has a great chance to pick up his numbers to really add on to that success that he had last year without Lillard. And probably not an all-star, but we'll have an outside shot. We'll see. If you can put up the numbers again at 30-1, I think there's a decent chance of that. Tyrese Maxey, 30-1. He might be the 3rd wheel on the Sixers, but if you watch that team, especially from a regular season perspective, a lot of what the Sixers are going to try to do tonight, I think it's going to be to unleash Maxey, to try to keep minutes off of Harden, to try to keep Embiid from having to run up and down the floor too much. I think we're going to see the ball in his hands a lot. I think that given how much love he not only gets here in Philadelphia, but just from the media in general, he really puts up a lot of highlights. He is a hard worker and a guy that everybody loves. 30-1 looks great. And then we get into some big numbers. Rui Hachimura, kind of one of the last guys left here on the Washington Wizards. It's going to be him and Kuzma. And he's going to have an opportunity to shoot the ball a lot. And if he's nearly as good as we thought he was when he was a lottery pick, he's got a chance to put up some big numbers. And being a forward, it's a little easier to maybe find a slot for him in the All-Star game. Again, don't think he'll probably be that good, but at 110-1, I think there's a great chance that he'll be in consideration at some point during the season. Josh Primo, the Spurs love Josh Primo. I think he has a chance to get into the starting lineup very early in the season. I think it's part of the reason they traded Dejounte Murray and been looking to clear out guard spots. I think they want to get him as many minutes as possible, and he has a chance to be really great. And then Malcolm Brogdon, the new Boston Celtic, he's going to be 490-1. Now, again, think about all those different things. Maybe almost certainly not an all-star, but is going to have a chance to put up a lot of points on a very, very good team. And I think he will end up being the starter here. I think we'll see Marcus Smart probably get pushed to the bench or something like that. So like Brogdon here, 490-1. And with all due respect to AD, I don't think anyone's ever won back-to-back MIP awards. And John Morant's probably more likely to be MVP than MIP.
You got to get bad to do it so you can improve again, like the Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera had that really, really horrible season. I think it was injury-based, but he won Coach of the Year like 2 out of 3 years because the middle year they sucked. It's like, it's all based on expectations and how you did compared to last year. It's such a
No
silly
one's ever won
product.
back to back. We'll confirm.
Which
again, like you said, makes sense.
And you can't. That's just silliness. I presented Jaden McDaniels as and maybe you know what I'm saving him.
Make your
I
case
don't
for
like.
the people.
I did.
We've got time.
I think you're right though. You don't start him at the 3, so he's just spelling everybody in the front court. He's probably not getting the minutes he needs, which maybe means he might be right for another market, because I think his defense can definitely come into play with another big who can actually play defense, maybe a little bit of a leader, especially now that if you can push Cat to being a third fiddle, which is amazing considering his talent. He's not a leader of men. Like, nobody listens to Cat. You want Anthony Edwards leading this team with a strong veteran presence, and maybe this defense can improve a little. So I think we're gonna get some half decent defense in Minnesota. It'll be a fun team. So Jaden McDaniels is maybe not the most improved player. Maybe he's like a really good person who's the first one to come off the bench, though.
If he can hit threes and play defense, he's going to get a lot of minutes on that team. They're going to need guys like that to kind of fill in the gaps for, let's say it nicely, some less than perfect defenders or offensive players now that we've got Rudy Gobert.
So I'm putting a pin in him for 6th man of the year. I haven't seen markets up for that anywhere. Have you?
FanDuel. That's what we talked about yesterday.
It didn't have it for me.
Well, maybe they pulled it down.
They pulled it down after what you did. Now Fritz breaks and Fritz is hurt. What?
Candy might have 6
match
as well.
This match is an absolute disaster.
Bananas.
And this one went long.
Bananas.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna go watch some tennis. I'm gonna order some lunch. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. Some more golf, and we'll talk whatever. We'll figure something out. We'll get some damn guests in here. No big deal.
It's going on.
You know what?
Worst case, we'll find something else to rant about.
There's Euros every single day, guys. So if you think I'm not giving you golf matchups and Euro bets for the next month, you're plumb crazy purple. So Matt, hit the music. Thanks, guys.